Hi everybody, this is Joseph from Synergy 17, and today I just want to go over some fundamentals and just explanations about fonts. I receive a lot of questions about single line fonts and outline fonts and Prestoned fonts, and people wonder why they can't take a Prestoned font and make it an exact size. So I just kind of want to cover this whole concept of about using fonts when you rhinestone. Okay, so I'm going to start with a basic font right here. This font is, I just chose something pretty blocky, nothing special. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. And I'm going to turn off the fill just so we can kind of see what we're doing. And I'm going to duplicate it one more time. So this bottom one, I'm just going to take a standard Prestoned font. I'll choose the single line right here. And what I want to explain about this is people tell me they want to have this font and they want to say they wanted the word fonts and they want it to be 9 inches or even 10 inches. The problem is that the stone, let me ungroup it, the stone is too big for an SS10. So they don't understand why they can't force this to be 10 inches in SS10. And the reason is because it's a predetermined size. When it's created as a font, someone said this font is going to be 2 inches or 1.5 inches or 1 inch tall at an SS10. So if you want it to be 10 inches wide, you're going to have to use a larger size stone, something closer to this diameter, 0.282. If I really want it to be an SS10 stone, I think this font is about 1.1 inches tall, which is about that big. Yeah, that's about right. And this whole word now is only 4.46. That's what it's going to be. So no matter what, if you want to use this Prestoned font and you want SS10 stones with approximately 5 letters, it's going to only be about 4.5 inches wide. It's not going to be any wider. It's not going to be any smaller. That's just the way it is. It's predetermined. If someone said, well, I want it to be 10 inches, well, that's when you have to do it yourself. You take your, let's just take this font for example. I would make this font 10 inches and then I would stone it myself. So let's just say I want to do a simple outline. Something like that. At this time, turn the fill back on so you can kind of see it. At this point, I forced it to be 10 inches wide because I made my font 10 inches wide and then I stoned it myself. That's something, if you desperately want to say I want it 10 inches wide and SS10 stones, excuse me, then you have to do it yourself. Pre-stone fonts are, like I said, they're already predetermined the size they're going to be. So if you want something to be your own size, because some people might want it 10 inches with SS6 stones or SS8 or SS10 or SS12, you have to do it yourself. Another thing people ask about is single line fonts. That would be like, let me turn the view back off, the fill back off. You could take a font like this and tell it to do a single line trace. And what this does is it just creates lines inside of it. You can go in there, if you don't like the way it looks, you can go in there and change your lines. Like for example, say I didn't like the way it did the N right here. I could actually go in here and I could say I want this to be out here more, you know, taller, closer to, let's see, I can bring this one down to, you know, approximate height. I could take this one, same kind of concept. Anyways, when I'm done with that, let's say I'm happy with that. I take this guy, move him out of the way. Now I can stone this one. I'm going to make this one, oh, by the way, this one is, let me close this. This right here is 7.58. Let's say I want it 8 inches tall, or 8 inches wide, sorry. Now I can stone this. I'm going to make a copy of it just up here so I can show you something. So, stone this. SS10 stones. let's just say I'm happy with that. Yeah, let's say like I'm going to try to show you a comparison. Put this guy here. Let's say I wanted to make it now 10 inches. And I'm going to stone it again. Let's say I'm happy with that one. So, and then I'm just going to throw this stuff out of the way. Just delete that. I don't need that. I'm going to leave that out of the way. Take all these ones that I did here. And then I will, let's give this a different color so you can see it easier. And then I'll put the fill back on. Okay. So what I want to show you is this here was a Prestoned font. At SS10, it's about, like I said, approximately 1.1 inches tall. This one was an outline font. I actually took the font, I made it 10 inches, and then I outlined it. These two are both from single line fonts, but as you can see, they're both SS10, but they're different sizes. I actually told it I want this one 10 inches, and then I stoned it. I told this one I want it 8 inches, and then I stoned it. So the big difference is on these three, I could make my font or my single line font any size I like, and then I stone it. Most of the time when you do that, you have to move stones around. So for example, if I didn't like the way this end was, I could move this stone up a little bit or move this one over a little bit. I can do all that. But on pre-stone fonts, they're pretty much set how they are. You can still move your stone, and you can break this apart and move them around. But like I said, they're predetermined size. They're pretty laid out the way they are. And my stone count for this one might be different from this one. On this type of fonts, if I made it SS6, SS10, or whatever, it's always going to have the same amount of stones in it. So, and then up here, like I said, this is just an outline of it as well. But so the big difference is, if you want to force a size of a font and force the type of font, the type of stone, like SS6 or SS8 or 10 or whatever you want, you have to stone it yourself. So there's some pros and cons to both of them. Pre-stone fonts are pretty easy. You just type them out and it's already stoned, but you can't force it. You can't say 10 inches and SS12. It just doesn't work that way. You actually have to stretch it out till it's an SS12 or shrink it down till it's an SS6. So anyways, I hope you found this informative, and if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Thanks.